Many retired old men in Europe and the United States, after coming to Thailand, will spend money to hire a young Thai girl to be both their lover and nanny.
Have you ever wondered why some Western men seem to be surrounded by beautiful local women when they visit countries like Thailand? It's sometimes different from what it looks. In fact, this controversial practice is known as rent-a-wife, which might surprise you. Women are hired for a night, a day, or even longer. But there's more to this arrangement than meets the eye. Some nationalities engage in this flesh trade more than others, and there are darker truths behind it that you may want to know. Number 1. Wife rental. Pattaya is one of the most famous beach cities in Thailand, and apart from amazing sand and nightclubs, there are some peculiar and rather unexpected things one can find here. One of the amazingly interesting practices is the wife rent service common in the city's red light district. Even though this one is not officially legal, it plays the main role in the red light districts. They accompany the tourists mostly from bars or nightclubs and are willing to act as wives for that given number of hours, a week or a month at most. This relationship is not a real thing like proper marriage. It is all about business, and the women follow their customers to whatever places they desire, be it night parties, shopping, or short journeys. Most of these women are from low-income rural backgrounds and move to Pattaya in an attempt to get better wages. Wife-for-hire employment focuses on issues such as the illegality of business, yet it adds an important section to the Thai economy based on tourism and entertainment. Can you make some comments about this interesting business in Thailand? Should you want to travel to Thailand to hire a beautiful wife for yourself? Please use the comment section for this video and let the world know. Number 2. The strange pants law in Thailand. Well, did you know that in Thailand, one cannot step out of the house without having pants on? And is it legal? This legislation sounds contrary to rigorous enforcement, but that is not what it is about. However, it symbolizes the Thais' respect for the moral Ethiopia and the ethical bombardment of the society. Well-dressing in Thailand is not a mere code. Rather, it is ethical civility demonstrated in Thai culture. This legislation, which is rarely, if ever, implemented, serves as a constant, subtle reminder of the importance of tradition and rites of passage. Thai people born up to the 1980s know the importance of bringing up their children to be well-dressed and adhere to traditional clothing norms, as revealed by research conducted by the Thai Ministry of Culture in 2024. Though this rule will appear quite strange to other countries, or may even be laughed upon, it is an extremely vital rule for Thailand. In order to save respect for tradition in a world that is becoming so materialistic and murky, it may be magical with questions like, how do they know a person is wearing pants? It is an undergarment usually not noticeable. Indeed, the rule prohibiting people from going out without pants in Thailand is not really a law, but rather a recommendation and learning tool. However, there are ways in which authorities or others could determine, including detecting somebody who is far from pants, such as thin or sheer clothing. Number 3. Criticizing Thailand's monarchy. Thailand has always valued its monarchy, and all the rules of the kingdom prohibit anyone from speaking ill of the king and immediate royal family. Specific rules include matters termed lèse-majesté, which are rather strictly observed given the Thai people's strong respect for their kings as imperatives to national unity and culture, which means that if violated, serious consequences of the actions may lead to severe penalties, such as long-term imprisonment. According to the data of the Thai Ministry of Justice, 103 cases were registered in 2024 as lèse-majesté breaches, which are punishable by years of imprisonment or large fines. It brings to light the paramount importance of being very cautious when speaking and interacting with the royal family during one's stay in Thailand. In one's company or residence, there is a need to refrain from anything that is deemed to be offending the Thai monarchy. As much as it can be understood as law compliance, it is about acknowledging and honoring one of the cultural pillars of Thai society.
Personally, he's a quiet, reserved, and quite polite and respectful person.
Number 4. Stepping on money. In Thailand, not only can people not walk on money, but it is also considered a grave offense. Money in Thailand is similar to other forms of currency. It has a picture of one of the monarchs and the royal family, which are sacred in Thai culture and must be respected. An image on banknotes illustrates the Thai people's respect for their king. As stated in a Thai Cultural Preservation Department study from 2024, over 90% of Thais view any disrespect of Victorianism money as an insult to their country. To a tourist, it is very important to exercise the utmost care when dealing with money. Presumably, even acts that might seem utterly trivial to modern Europeans and Americans, such as accidentally treading with a foot over a bill that has fallen on the ground, might be deemed quite rude. Consequently, stepping on money is received as an insult not only to the monarch, but to the whole culture and values of the country as well. This may cause antisocial and criticism from locals, as well as legal consequences. About money, visitors and residents should be careful with their money held, treat it responsibly, and never allow it to deteriorate or be handled in a manner deemed clandestine or improper. Not only does this caution enable one to follow local customs more easily, but it also reflects a very high level of respect for Thailand and its people's culture. Number 5. Public displays of affection in Thailand. Thai culture is multicultural, and still, it is very different from the West when it comes to such things as affection. Thai culture puts much emphasis on courtesy and respect for elders, especially in formal public domains. Even some, as simple as kissing, hugging, or even holding hands, can offend the locals. You may miss verbal bashing, but non-verbal signals such as shunning eye contact or failure to respond kindly when addressed tell much about the level of disapproval. The said cultural perspective is evidently entrenched. According to a survey conducted by the Ministry of Culture in Thailand, approximately 83% of Thai people think that kissing in public places is uncultured. Imagine yourself as a couple where you and your partner are holding hands while walking through a market to buy some stuff. You then realize that everyone is uncomfortable around you. They find it proper to express affection to their loved ones only through private moments. When they do this, they are being culturally appropriate to the Thai people because personal space and privacy are highly regarded in Thai culture. That is why, when interacting with Thais, you avoid kissing or physical demonstrations of affectionate gestures. All that is taboo and can attract the wrong perception from the Thais you are interacting with. Number 6. The essential taboo of wearing shoes, indoors in Thailand. In Thailand, taking off your shoes before you step inside a house is not only polite, but it is a tradition. This simple act is not simply about making floors neat and clean. It is the preservation of the homeowner's territory as sacred.
And that's when I decided people who live in the country, we wear shoes indoors.
As a guest, one can picture being welcomed into a Thai family's house. Others disregarded the lack of shoes and never thought about doing anything about it themselves. Instantly, the mood shifts. That warm interaction becomes less friendly, and if the intention is to catch up familiarly, the interaction becomes uncomfortable. Why? This is actually a petty cultural belief in Thai society, as shoes are considered to be boring on the ground, and it is shameful to bring them inside the room.
If you walk into my house with your shoes on, you're walking across my heart.
This is not just practiced at homes, but also in most temples, schools, and even offices. A poll conducted by the Thailand Ministry of Culture in 2024 showed that more than 95% of Thai people believe the removal of shoes is an important measure in maintaining hygiene and courtesy while entering homes and holy areas. So next time you're in Thailand, remember this golden rule. If in any circumstance you are in doubt, remove your shoes. Number 7. Don't ring the bell at the bar. In Thailand, most people ring the bell in a bar, which is part of the cultural norms that many first-time visitors to the country only discover the hard way. At most places in the world, as in the major bars and pubs of the Western world, including a pub crawl in Phuket or a clubbing night in Bangkok, the sound of a bell rung at the bar can mean that it is time to close orders, or can be a general alert for everyone. When a patron rings the bell, it means the patron is willing to take a round of drinks for the people at the bar. This can work up to a shocking drunken bill, as all the staff, including the bartenders and the other persons in the bar, will likely order the ringer drinks. This tradition can easily accumulate to several thousands of Thai baht, especially when the price of beverages is steep. Some bars even provide jingle for ringing in a manner that tourists take as fun and as a joke for them to ring the bell, thinking it's a joke, or dare them to ring the bell as jokes, to which is not humorous to those with no knowledge that ringing the bells comes with very serious consequences. Not paying for the extravagant meal after completing the ringing of the bell also becomes a problem because some bars flood the consumption area and start having the police arrest the non-paying customers. If ordinary passengers are not careful, they can fall foul of these customs while in what they consider to be an innocent act of generosity. Number 8. The transgender paradise. Thailand is commonly described as a trans welfare country because, despite certain prejudices, it is quite tolerant of representatives of sexual minorities, especially transsexuals. The government has a storied history of tolerance for the local term kathoey or ladyboys, who are, in fact, transsexuals.
You guys are so cute.
I have beat. Are you okay?
I have what?
Beat. Yeah, you can see.
They are interested in the visibility of trans women in different segments of social life, such as entertainment, beauty, and other services industries in Thailand, and particularly Bangkok and Pattaya. As cities popular in Thailand, tourism have become popular for gender reassignment surgeries, thanks to reasonably low prices and high-quality services of Thai clinics. As suggested, Thai society today appears liberal. However, there are still a number of legal and social barriers to being transgender. For example, while Thailand might seem more progressive, trans people cannot alter their gender identity on official documents, which causes certain challenges in the spheres like work, healthcare, and legal recognition where transgender people perform, compelling many tourists to embrace Thailand as friendly for trans people. However, the situation of transgender people living in Thailand is not perfect, and they still fight for their equal rights. Thus, it is a complicated picture of the main idea of acceptance of transgender people. Number 9. Disrespecting Buddhism is forbidden. Thailand is a Buddhist country, and nothing that is against the religion is allowed. Religious fetishism is maintained throughout the country, and any encroachment on sacred sites, temples, and religious idols is prohibited and will attract both social and legal demotion. By far, the most important etiquette tip to remember when in Thailand is dressing appropriately when at a temple. They must wear appropriate clothing for the temples, which includes largely the upper arms and chest, as well as thighs and knees, and they must wear no shoes in temple structures. It is allowed to make photos of Buddha statues, but it is strictly prohibited to climb or pose in kakama on them. Women, in particular, should not come into close contact with monks because this is forbidden by monasticism. Prejudice against Buddhism can also contain making fun of Buddhist icons. For instance, applying Buddha images in a decorative context, such as a tattoo or souvenir, or for fashion accessories, is considered rude. People who have been wearing clothes with Buddha pictures or other accessories with such images informally or indecently were punished or expelled in the past. It is regarded shameful even to casually point the feet at the statue of a Buddha or sit with one's soles facing any other religious objects. Thai people consider feet as the most impure part of the body, and such usage is inappropriate around any object of reverence. As such, while traveling, especially in the regions that adhere to Buddhism, incredible care should be taken while observing their customs and beliefs. In addition to angering the locals, disrespect for Buddhism can lead to legal sanctions. With reference to the nature of the violation, knowledge of the simplest requirements of temple conduct, and refraining from distorting the meaning of Buddhist emblems will contribute to a conscious and trouble-free visit to Thailand. Number 10. Do not sit cross-legged. Thai people notice that sitting cross-legged is rude in some situations, such as in front of older people, monks, or inside temples. General Thai beliefs in hierarchical structure and body language can explain the rationale of such a cultural practice. Thai people think that the head is the highest body part, which has to be protected in any case, while the feet are the lowest part of the body. Hence, sitting with legs crossed, especially when directing the feet towards a given person, will be considered as rude. In a temple, one has to sit with the feet pulled behind or to the side, as it is improper to point the feet at anyone. This rule also comes into play when having a sitting session on the floor. It just makes the heads of the respected elders remain higher than the position where the sitter is seated. Even when sitting on a chair, merely crossing your legs, and if your foot is jerking up and down, this is seen as improper etiquette in workplaces, or even when dealing with respected figures. Tourists should be very sensitive to this rule, especially when in temples, or when dealing with Thais in the hierarchical systems. If one is worried about the appropriate manner to sit, it is always wise to glance at the Thais, or even inquire about the proper manners of Thai civilization. Number 11. The longest capital name in the world. Thailand's capital is Bangkok, which has the longest place name in the world, according to the Guinness Book of Records. Modern Thai people often use the term Bangkok, while the formal name of the city is much longer and quite lyrical to Thai ears. The provincial name is Krung Thep Mahanakhon, Amon Ratanakosin, Mahintara Ayuthaya, Mahadilok Phop Noparat, Ratchathani Burirom, Udom Rachaniwet, Mahasathan Amon Piman, Awatan Sathit Sakatatia Witsanukam Prasit. When translated into English, the name hails the city as the Great City of Angels, the supreme repository of divine jewels, the great land unconquerable. Then it helps to promote its royal palace, its temples, and the fact that it is the home of the reincarnated kings. The name is derived from the admiration that Thais have for their capital and the value they place on culture. The abridged name of the city is Krung Thep, or the City of Angels, and it is more popular in Thailand. However, due to its versatility and sonorousness, the full name is appreciated by residents of Thailand as a pleasant reference to the history of the country. This vast ceremonial name also provides an added flavor to the Thai identity and sets Thailand's capital apart from the rest of the world's capital cities. Number 12. The largest festival in the world, Songkran Festival. The water festival held in Thailand takes place in April and is the biggest water celebration of the traditional Thai New Year, known as Songkran. It is a holiday island-wide, but Chiang Mai, Bangkok, Phuket, and Pattaya mostly hold grand celebrations. It has a Hindu origin because during the festival, the statues of Buddha are bathed or washed, and honor and respect are paid to older people. However, Songkran is most popular for water splashing. People use water pistols, watering cannons, water hoses, and even ice-cold water chi. Chiang Mai in northern Thailand is famous for having the biggest festival, during which individuals throw water on each other in the streets near the city walls for several days. Selam Road and Khao San Road are some of the most visited places in Bangkok, and excitement rises as thousands of people squirt water at one another. Patong Beach of Phuket also witnesses heavy tourist turnout because of water splashing and Miss Songkran beauty contests, etc. Though this is a fun event, it is steeped with considerable historical significance. In earlier days, water represents purification of the year's bashing and beginning anew at the start of the new year. In recent years, Songkran has also turned into a festival that attracts domestic and international tourists. However, as it is associated with water, its main idea can be considered rather safety sensitive, since various accidents often occur every time they take place. Number 13. Whistling at midnight is forbidden. Thais do not whistle at night, and refraining from it is most especially prohibited at night or after midnight, as it is believed to call evil spirits. This superstition is very strong in the religious food culture of the country, especially dating back to the rural areas where folklore beliefs are rampant. Since whistling calls for evil spirits, ghosts, or fae, which are said to dominate at night, is a wrong way of clearing the darkness. It cannot be recommended. Locals do not perform this act in the late hours in order to avoid being seen by these spirits. Even though Thailand boasts modernity and traditions, people's respect for the supernatural is rather considerable, particularly outside the cities. Still, most Thai of present Thailand, in spite of the influence of the big cities such as Bangkok, where even the young people have a cautious connection with the spiritual powers and sacrifices offered to the spirits, as well as with the tradition of such rites in order not to have an unfortunate year. This belief in spiritual presence is very functional in the everyday, particularly concerning behavior, such as whistling, which is considered inevitable after sunset. Still, these are peculiarities that even a mere temporary guest in this country has to have such customs in mind. While some cities may not care so much about these traditions, country folks do. It is always necessary to understand and respect these superstitions if one is planning to visit or live in Thailand. It offers an understanding of the extent to which Thais respect spirits, the supernatural, and Number 14. No loud talking in public. In Thailand, maintaining a sense of calm and politeness in public spaces is a reflection of the country's cultural emphasis on kreng jai, which loosely translates to showing respect and consideration for others. Loud talking, especially in enclosed public areas such as temples, public transport, and even restaurants, is generally frowned upon. Thais value a peaceful atmosphere, and loud disruptive behavior is considered rude and inconsiderate. This cultural trait stems from Thailand's Buddhist philosophy, where peacefulness, harmony, and respect for others are key societal values. Public outbursts or loud conversations can be seen as a violation of the social expectation to maintain harmony in shared spaces. Even when disagreements arise, Thais tend to keep their tone polite and composed, avoiding confrontation in public. Tourists may only sometimes be aware of these unspoken rules, but it's crucial to adapt to the local etiquette. Travelers are encouraged to keep their voices low, especially in places of worship, on public transport, or in other quiet settings. Even in bustling areas like Bangkok's markets or Chiang Mai's night bazaars, where the environment is noisy, personal conversations should remain moderate. Observing these norms is not only a way to show respect for the local culture, but also to avoid misunderstandings. It enhances interactions with locals, who deeply appreciate visitors who respect their cultural values and social etiquette. Number 15. No touching someone's head. According to Thai belief and practice, the head of a person is regarded as not acceptable to touch. According to the picture, the head is understood as the holiest part of a person's body, as it is located nearest to the sky and is believed to contain the soul. The basis of this belief is considered to be conceived from Buddhism, which often holds that the head is purified compared to the rest of the body. In this way, we see that even a positive action like touching someone's hair, when performed by an unwitting man, can be perceived as intrusive and wrong by the recipient, regardless of age. For this reason, such an action should be avoided at all costs to prevent any instance of disrespect when visiting. By and large, Thai people accord excellent importance to personal space and head. In social interactions, one has to embrace these boundaries and cultural values when practicing medicine. Everything that begins with a good intention is also tolerated. For instance, people poking each other on the head causes uneasiness or embarrassment. However, there are further common social taboos, such as enumerating straight into a person's personal space and not initiating a friendly Y, which is a bowing motion done with hands placed together in front of them as a sign of respect. It also helps to accord Thai hospitality and culture with respect and ensure that the locals accept them with positive remarks. When visiting this country, Thai customs should be respected since they refer to religious beliefs existing in the country. If you are going to interact with the Thais, you need to familiarize yourself with the value that they afford to the head so that you can esteem the basic principles of this culture. Number 16. No giving things with the left hand. Thai people have a taboo belief that the left hand is unclean and that the hand is used for dirty things, such as cleaning the bathroom. This is held in other cultures in Asia and the Middle East, which believe that the right hand is suitable for noble and clean activities. Hence, extending the left hand to receive objects, and more especially food or gifts, is considered rude or unhygienically improper. That's why people give things with their right hand, especially to others, parents, religious people, or anyone superior. This cultural practice agrees with the principles of courtesy and respect when dealing with other people. In any home, any cash, whether for rent or anything, dish during a meal, or gift offered or received, is done with the right hand. The left hand should never be used if the right hand is sufficient, but if both hands are required, as in holding a large object, then so be it. Such behavior is in harmony with these traditions, which prevent uncomfortable situations or offending somebody. Just knowing these etiquette rules is not only polite, but also shows respect for the local culture of the country. They found that as a traveler, being sensitive in the use of hands will enhance friendly interaction with the inhabitants of the community. Number 17. No feet on the table. Particularly in Thailand, people perceive footsteps, or feet in general, as the lowest and the most uncleanest part of the human body. This is because they drag their feet on the ground, which is considered dirty or unclean in most societies. Hence, flickering the feet in a self-assertive manner, revealing the soles, or putting them on the table or the chair is seen as massively offending. It is even enshrined in everyday practice, such as when walking or standing. One is not allowed to point feet towards anything or anyone, or approach a Thai-style house or blanched Buddha statue. To Thais, for instance, placing one's shoe soles on a table is a rude act, or just simply putting the shoe soles on somebody's face is highly inappropriate. This can be quite provocative in the evening, for example, during supper, in a church, or before the older adults. One has to ensure that at all times the feet are placed under the buttocks when the person is seated on the floor, and any pose that would reveal the feet is prohibited. Moreover, just like pointing hands at people is rather offending, pointing feet in the direction of a person, even involuntarily, is also rather offending. These are cultural attitudes that a traveler must learn in order to be culturally sensitive during their trip to Thailand. Being conscious of where one puts one's feet and how one sits signifies respect for the widely rooted Thainess. This will go a long way in improving your experience and preventing you from leaning on others or offending some in the process. Number 18. Women are not allowed to touch monks. Thai women are not allowed to touch monks physically or even their robes, owing to the Thai culture and religion, Buddhism. Since the monks are persons who devote their time to the spiritual pursuit and are celibate, then they cannot afford to touch women who may pollute their purity. It includes even a touch, not to mention that all such interactions are thought to interfere with the monk's ascetic training potentially. For instance, if a monk comes into contact with a woman, he has to go through a rite, which will clean him up from this blemish. This prohibition is so major that if a man is a monk, his mother is prohibited from hugging him after he goes through the process of becoming a monk. Consequently, in interpersonal communication, if a woman has to present something to a monk, she must drop it or use a man to hand it over without touching it. Women also would not be allowed to go into some sections of the temple that are reserved for monks exclusively. These areas are normally barred by signposts to show where women are restricted from entering. The tradition does not only include the physical contact of the two individuals. The women also must adhere to some behavioral and spatial etiquette when they are in monks' company. For example, they should sit lower than the monk. They shouldn't sit beside the monks. Such regulations are in practice in order not only to preserve the monastic chastity pledge, but also the spiritual purity of the monks. Sexy dressing and elder monks, especially the ladies, should be sober when they are in temples or around monks in Thailand. Failure to observe these rules shows respect for the cultures, religions, and practices of the country, and at the same time does not offend the Buddhist religion by implementing them in practice. Be always conscious of the signs and images and the etiquette observed in the temple area. And there you have it, dark secrets in Thailand. Which of these wowed you? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Meanwhile, like and subscribe to this channel. We have more to feed your curiosity.